Broadly speaking, a cult is a group or movement with a shared commitment to a usually extreme ideology.
Look at body hardening.
Today, there are thousands of cults around the world. It's important to note two things about them. First, not all cults are religious. Some are political, therapy-based, focused on self-improvement, or otherwise. And on the flip side, broadly speaking, a cult is a group or movement with a shared commitment to a usually extreme ideology that's typically embodied in a charismatic leader. And while few turn out as deadly as Jonestown or Heaven's Gate, which ended in a mass suicide of 39 people in 1997, most cults share some basic characteristics. A typical cult requires a high level of commitment from its members and maintains a strict hierarchy, separating unsuspecting supporters and recruits from the inner workings. It claims to provide answers to life's biggest questions through its doctrine, along with the required recipe for change that shapes a new member into a true believer. And most importantly, it uses both formal and informal systems of influence and control to keep members obedient, with little tolerance for internal disagreement or external scrutiny. You might wonder.
I'm his coach, trainer, manager. You know, I'm the physical therapist. I'm the nutritionist. I'm doing all those jobs of which you see a whole lot of people have full occupational titles for. So it's much bigger than just saying, like how most of the media has already done me, saying corner and confusing people. So I'd like to clarify, I'm doing all of that.
Devotion. Okay. Many religions began as cults, but integrated into the fabric of the larger society as they grew. A modern cult, by contrast, separates its members from others. Rather than providing guidelines for members to live better lives, a cult seeks to directly control them, from personal and family relationships to financial assets and living arrangements. Cults also demand obedience to human leaders, who tend to be highly persuasive people with authoritarian and narcissistic streaks motivated by money, sex, power, or all three. While a cult
Exactly, that's their hustle.
I know, dude. You gotta click on it. Come on. Don't worry about it. I see that.
Yeah, that is their. That's my air plug, guys.
See?
Like, okay.
That's what he like. See how he did use the height on
look,
Cults are skilled at knowing whom to target, often focusing on those new to an area or who have recently undergone some personal or professional loss. Loneliness and a desire for meaning make one susceptible to friendly people offering community. The recruitment process can be subtle, sometimes taking months to establish a relationship. In fact,
yeah, there's a lot going on in my life at this time, and not only that, I was going through a divorce. You know, I had been living this MMA life for a long time, and it's hard and it's rough, and I pushed my ex-wife away because she was pushing me towards retirement, and she didn't want to see me get hurt, and I took it as, you giving up on me, you don't believe in me, and we went our separate ways. So I was in a real rocky road, and this is when, and then with Jackson Wink and what was going on with Jackson Wink, and I was, I was in a rocky road, and I was pretty much getting, there was not much attention to me at Jackson Wink. I was basically just training myself, and this also was very disheartening for me, because I knew I was coming to the end, and coming to the end and not having support from your wife and not having support from your team, you could see where I was at. You know?
Once in the cult, members are subjected to multiple forms of indoctrination. Some play on our natural inclination to mimic social behaviors or follow orders. Other methods may be more intense, using techniques of coercive persuasion involving guilt, shame, and fear. And in many cases, members may willingly submit out of desire to belong and to attain the promised rewards. The cult environment discourages critical thinking, making it hard to voice doubts when everyone around you is modeling absolute faith. The resulting internal conflict, known as cognitive dissonance, keeps you trapped, as each compromise makes it more painful to admit you've been deceived. And though most cults don't lead members to their death, they can still be harmful. By denying basic freedoms of thought, speech, and association, cults stunt their members' psychological and emotional growth. Nevertheless, many cult members eventually find a way out, whether through their own realizations, the help of family and friends, or when the cult falls apart due to external pressure or scandals. Many intervene. Believing in something should not come at the cost of your family and friends. And if someone tells you to sacrifice your relationships or morality for the greater good, they're most likely exploiting you for their own.
Narcissistic personality disorder. So first off, a large motivator for these types of personalities is having the world view them in a way that strokes their ego. They are hyper-driven to maintain the persona that they have constructed. So keep an eye out for people with an intense focus on their image.
They're talking about me. You're actually saying on a camera, like you're disdained with me so much you can't even say my name, bro. Like dude, that's kind of cold. Like I told you already, I don't know your name. Okay. What's your name again? Joshua. Joshua. Okay. Okay. Dude, yeah. School does something around it. I understand. Okay. Listen. You can see how that right there is like a little like. You know why? You know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm with my friends having breakfast. You trying to come over here and make some kind of grandstand about you bringing me up about? No, listen, bro. Okay. You want to talk? I'll talk. You're bringing up Michael Pereira. I think the guy's a stud. Who? You're. Piera? Yeah, Pereira. Don't you gonna fix my fucking pronunciation? No. Oh yeah. I'm just sitting here.
Very different relationship with lying in general. Most people have limits on how flagrantly we're willing to lie. We prefer instead to bend the truth. And the more egregious our lies become, the more visibly uncomfortable we are. Not so much with the narcissistic type. They can tell bald-faced, flagrantly false lies without skipping a beat.
Clip you guys put up of you having Diego hang from the A-frame of the bars and essentially using him as a punching bag. So it's kind of the question of, was that more his decision, your decision, and what was the method of training behind that?
Okay, those are several questions, and they're all very easy to answer. Let me work backwards, though. The first one you said, what is the method? Well, you can go onto YouTube right now and go look at body hardening.
They often don't give up on the lie. When most of us get caught red-handed, we slump our shoulders in defeat. All that is left to do is feel shame, say we're sorry, and hopefully be forgiven. But this type of person who lies compulsively will continue even when the cat is out of the bag.
Well, you can go onto YouTube right now and go look at body hardening, and you will see some of the most ridiculous things way beyond what you see me doing. What I was doing are gentle in comparison to what you will see others doing, okay? It's a very normal practice, body hardening. The other part of it is it's teaching. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, well, the complaints online with it are usually that when you're doing the body hardening, it's not done towards the head. So I think it had more to do with them being concerned that he already had CTE and then getting smacked in the head versus the body hardening. Yeah. So, I mean, Conor McGregor is really well known for doing the body hardening, and he does some dumbass shit. I'd like to remind everyone, every time we swear on this show, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. We swear because we care. We had to put that disclaimer in because I can't control my mouth. Sorry.
There you go. So the reality is, okay, that's beautiful for McGregor to say, but he also just got knocked the fuck out. So your body hardening, what it does, let me just give you perspective here from someone who's not involved in combatives or has no idea what is truly going on. The body has an ability to perceive the angle and the direction of impact, okay, the body. The way the body perceives this is through contact first. So if I am to, for example, push you, your body can understand the direction where I'm going to push you. If now I pull away, I'm not touching you, I'm showing you the push, your body can anticipate and will move out of the way. All right, now what happens when I do it with a fist? So what you're seeing there is, for one, 50 times out of context, and I will explain all of that.
Yeah, of course.
But the point is that in body hardening, you could not favor one part of the body, Summer, as every part of your body is vulnerable. So to balance that, you wouldn't be so ashamed to have your face touched. And so what's really going on is that, because I am not hitting him hard enough to damage anything, not even surface tissue. And the reality is he's been trained to handle much, much, much harder impacts than that.
Finally, in the event that you do raise your issues with this type of person, they're very likely to dismiss you and throw you off in one of two ways. Typically, they will label you a hater and cut you out, as Elizabeth, or if you're more powerful, they'll assuage your concerns by appealing to some kind of conspiracy against them. Holmes, for instance, said that no one could see the technology at Theranos for this reason.
No, the truth is that video was leaked by who? It's the highest production fucking video I've ever had done. You think it's the UFC? Yeah, it's the fucking UFC that came and filmed us and didn't say a fucking word about, oh, that looks dangerous. No, they're cheering us on and they love it. And it's all fucking set up. It's all set up. I'll send you the video of the full amount of context because that's what I have to do is record everything. And you'll see them spraying him down with water. And it's a fucking shoot. It's a real Hollywood, man. It's fake.
Well,
and
then
so
why would you?
all,
well, I work in Hollywood, so I'm very, very familiar with those particular tactics. My question would then be, why do you think, if you feel that the UFC is setting you up, why would they be doing that?
Wants those answers. So the truth is, I've been privy to seeing some things, one, that are behind the scenes and are of an industry that is very ugly and very dirty. And because I'm not in the industry and I have no benefit of the industry, I'm the only one willing to speak upon it. Because I'm not part of the feeder system and I make no money off of this, and I'm not over here being a person that promotes violence or even endorses this sport or industry. I just happen to be helping a guy that happened to be an MMA fighter.
That they're trying to...
Diego Sanchez is a professional MMA fighter who is employing me to help him as he has a lot of healing necessary and wanting to change his point of view on how to do things a little differently. Because in the past, he had been kind of just willing to run into punches. And I was offering him another option, like, we can move out of the way first, you know.